Now at 10, a man speaks on his frustrations with a Joplin apartment complex and his black mold issue. Plus, Missouri Governor Mike Parson pays a visit to Southwest Missouri to highlight support for education and workforce development. And the liberal Bulldogs take on the Appleton City Bulldogs in Thursday night football action.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities in Independence, Kansas say an 8-year-old has died in a house fire. This is KOAM News at 10. I am Eber Jenkins. The fire happened yesterday afternoon at 4761 East Highway 160. First responders removed the child from the house and took her to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. The cause of death is being determined at this point. The Kansas Fire Marshal's office helping investigate the cause of the fire. Kansas Bureau of Investigation says the death of 2 people in Labette County this week are now considered homicides. The bodies were found Monday morning at 693 16,000 Road in Mon Valley. Their identities have been confirmed as 43-year-old Linda Pound and 39-year-old Jason Backen, both of Mon Valley. Authorities say the autopsy results determine the victims died from a gunshot wound. Anyone with information is asked to call the police. The Iowa County Sheriff Office is now offering a $2,500 reward to help capture 2 escaped inmates. 4 inmates escaped the county jail on Tuesday. 2 have already been captured, Rusty Reese and Buck Martindale. 2 are still at large. They are Daniel Zatek and Tyler Tavis. Again, there is now a $2,500 reward being offered for each capture. Authorities say that they should be both considered armed and dangerous. A man at the Terrence Green Apartments in Joplin is speaking out about the mold problem. KOAM Carrie Wharton talked with the tenant.
Alex Williams is a tenant who has lived at Terrace Green Apartments in Joplin for 2 years. So when he noticed mold growing in his apartment, he notified the property manager about the issues, who then sent out a cleaning service.
Angel Clean, they had to schedule to come out and do it. So they came the following week. So then they looked in that closet there, and that's when they saw the black mold and everything.
Alex said the maintenance painted over the mold. According to Joplin Health Department, paint applied over moldy surfaces is likely to peel.
But they already painted over the ceilings and stuff before they got here to actually see like how bad it was. So now, if you was to look, now it's because they painted it there, it's growing in other spots.
Williams stated that he was only given 3 options: break the lease and move out, move into another building with increased rent, or move into another apartment in the same building.
The mold was just as bad. The bathroom had rotting baseboards. The floor was warped. It was lopsided.
Williams has come out of pocket for moving expenses and was told he will not be getting his deposit back, nor will he get any medical expense help if it is related to the mold.
Like anything that can be just wiped off, we have to leave it.
Alex and his girlfriend said there was a water leak above their apartment that was not taken care of. According to Joplin Health Department, molds are usually not a problem indoors unless mold spores land on a wet or damp spot and begin growing. They also say molds have the potential to cause health problems. In Joplin, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
KOAM reached out to the property manager and they declined to comment. You can find more information along with links on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Doug Hetty joins us with the first look at weather.
Well, it actually turned out to be another nice one for us today. A little bit cooler than what we had yesterday. We had a weak cold front that rolled through last night, but still 84. Average high 74, record is 90, but we are going to be significantly cooler as we go into tomorrow. We have a pretty strong cold front just to our north, so it's cooling down to 50 in Des Moines, 51 in Lincoln. So it's that cooler air that is going to head toward us as we go through the overnight hours tonight. You can see a few mid and upper level clouds. And then with the front, there's a couple little sprinkles out across central Missouri. I think we'll mainly stay dry as we go through the overnight hours. 7 a.m. 54, 65 by noon. Look at this, 66 by 5 p.m. High temp, only 68 degrees, so significantly cooler than what we did see today. We do have some rain chances as well. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
Waking up today, you may have noticed that gas prices have increased overnight. AAA say that this is due to a tight supply and increased demand as more drivers fill up. The national average of gas is now at $3.86. In Jasper County, Missouri, the average is $3.44. Crawford County, Kansas is $3.45. Ottawa County, Oklahoma is $3.49. Some Joplin students got to meet with Governor Mike Parson today as he visited a training center in the area. The Missouri governor visited Crowder College and Joplin High School Technology Centers today for a tour and a chance to talk to students. Parson said that even though the employment rate is at the lowest it's ever been, the state still has over 100,000 job openings. He says the quicker the students can get their training done, they can get into the workforce and fill some of those spots.
With these training centers, the private sector is getting involved with these. We want to support that, so financially, we're going to be able to do that at higher levels that's ever been done in our state's history. But again, we're expecting them to get these students in here and to get them out of here. And if it means to build on, to expand, that's exactly what we want them to do because the demand's there.
There's 127,000 jobs open right now. Many of them are in highly skilled trades. And that's what we do at Crowder College.
Currently, Crowder College has about 160 students at the Advanced Training and Technology Center. The mayor of Joplin, Doug Lawson, took time today to make a few proclamations. The first proclamation honored the National Arts and Humanities Month of October. The second honored the 15 years of the Art Walk in Joplin, celebrating the arts and artists' many accomplishments and skills from far and wide.
This is awesome. Having the mayor issue this proclamation, it means so much to the artists and the different arts groups. Also, we have a thriving community, arts community in Joplin, and to have that recognized, it's very special.
The White House and
Mayor Lawson encouraged everyone to come out and see the art walk for themselves. It's truly a wonder. Roughly 30 aircraft landed at Pittsburgh-Atkinson Municipal Airport for the Fly Kansas Air Tour. The tour is a 3-day, 9-city celebration of aviation. Pittsburgh is the second stop on the statewide tour. Over 200 fifth graders from Pittsburgh schools attended the event to meet with pilots and learn about aviation. The kids said they had a great experience.
It's actually like being able to see everything inside the plane. It's really cool being able to sit in the seat because the seats are pretty comfy.
I really like the planes around here. They look cool and you get to learn about the planes and stuff.
The Fly Kansas Air Tour will end on Saturday. The city of Pittsburgh showed off their new pickleball courts with a ribbon cutting today. The courts were formerly tennis courts at Four Oaks, but they made a decision to resurface the court and change the nets to pickleball nets. There are still some upgrades to be made at the courts as well.
We want to kind of tame down the fence look here, lower some of the fences, put new fence in. The backboards behind me will need replaced, repainted, new lighting, and then probably some shade structures with some seating for the people waiting to play.
Kansas Crossing donated $10,000 towards the new court. The court was originally built in 1972. R.E. Smith Construction in Joplin is celebrating their 70th anniversary. The construction company was established in 1952 and started out as a small carpentry and residential construction company to one of the leading general contractors in the 4 states. The celebration marks more than 8,000 projects in more than 8 states.
Well, we're really proud of being in this area, and we like to build the landmarks we built in this community, and so we feel like we're a stable part of this business, and they're part of us.
The celebration was at their main location, and it lasted until 6 p.m. Coming up, President Biden pardons thousands of convicted of simple marijuana possessions, plus details about stabbing spree in Las Vegas killing 2 people. President Biden is pardoning thousands of Americans convicted of simple possession of marijuana under federal law. It's a dramatic step towards decriminalizing the drug and addressing changing practices that impacts people of color. The president is also calling on governors to issue similar pardons for those convicted of state marijuana offenses, which reflects the vast majority of marijuana possession cases. 2 people are dead and 6 others are wounded after a man went on a stabbing spree in Las Vegas Strip. Police say the suspect is in custody, but they don't know why he attacked. Reporter Dania Bacchus has details.
Security footage shows a man running down the Las Vegas Strip moments after police say he stabbed 8 people.
The weapon that we recovered was a large kitchen knife. The scene is under control. The suspect's in custody, and everything appears safe as of now.
The suspect, a man in his early 30s, was apprehended within minutes with help from a nearby casino security. Witnesses say at least one victim appears to be a showgirl who takes pictures with tourists along the Strip.
This guy ran up and started stabbing this lady in front of me, and she ran around the escalators, and then she collapsed up under the bridge, and her girlfriend was trying to help her.
Police believe the suspect is not a local resident. They are still searching for a motive.
Initial stabbing occurs on the sidewalk area. It appears unprovoked. There is no altercation beforehand.
Tourists Sarah Gahi and James Ford were shaken by the randomness of the attack, which happened shortly before noon.
It's 11 a.m. This should not happen.
The two have recently started taking more precautions while walking around Las Vegas.
It seems like the safety, it's like, going sideways these days.
The 8 victims were a combination of local residents and tourists. Danya Bacchus, CBS News.
3 victims are in critical condition at the local hospital. A bit later, we'll check out this month's Third Thursday festivities in Joplin.
Plus, a strong cold front is heading in our direction. We'll check that out coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be another nice one for us today. A little bit on the warm side again. Actually cooler than what we had yesterday as a weak cold front rolled through yesterday evening. But stronger ones heading toward us tonight. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. We know we need rain. Had all that rain in the spring. We were looking good going into the summer, and then it stopped. So we are on the top of the scale, an exceptional drought. All the way through southeastern Kansas into the metro. This is an extreme drought in the red. It gets a little bit better once you get down toward Table Rock, but the whole area, we need rain. We don't have a lot in the forecast the next few days. Starts to pick up a little bit by the time we head into next week. 62 in Stockton, 63 in Bella Vista. We have Grove at 60. We have 60 in Chanute, Pittsburgh 59, Miami also at 59 degrees. But here's our front, strong front moving in. Look at the cooler air behind it. We got 40s and 50s down to 34 in Rapid City. So we are going to cool down actually below normal as we go through the next couple days. Outside right now, 62, winds are calm. Those will pick up as well after midnight. Humidity is at 65%. Not a whole bunch going on. A few little clouds out there, but you can see this line dropping right to Nevada. That's our front. So it's in our far northern counties, even a few random little sprinkles out across central Missouri. Behind it, weak little wave, northern parts of Nebraska. That could give us a random sprinkle or two, maybe even a quick shower late tomorrow into tomorrow night. All right, let's step through time. Here's midnight. The front, maybe a random shower, should be working through Pittsburgh, Lamar, just north of the region, and then it goes through. Once it does, the winds are going to start to pick up. We'll start the day in the lower 50s. Some clouds increase by the afternoon. Here's the noon hours, 61 Pittsburgh, 64, Miami, Pineville at 67. During the afternoon, you can see the clouds kind of increasing, a random shower by Yates Center, Chanute, Garnett, Fort Scott. But look at our highs. We're in the upper 60s, so it feels pretty good. As we go through the evening, we get some clouds in here. We could get a random sprinkle, random shower into Saturday morning. Check out these lows, 39 Stockton, 39 in Nevada. So it gets kind of chilly, especially our northern counties. Then we break out, see partly sunny skies on Saturday, still mainly into the upper 60s. The winds are going to pick up tonight. So once this front gets through, here's 2 a.m., we're going to get winds gusting 25 to 30. Still windy tomorrow, but they start to dissipate a little bit once we get into tomorrow afternoon. For state, Friday night football for you, of course. We get our first Friday night that it's actually going to feel like football weather. We're going to put in there some cloud interference because we are going to have a lot of clouds. But look at our temps, 60 at kickoff. By the fourth quarter, we're going to be sitting at 53. 3 degrees, so great football weather tomorrow evening. 68 tomorrow, 69 Saturday, 75 on Sunday. The entire weekend looks fantastic. 80s do return next week. We do have at least a better chance for rain on Wednesday, which we need. Then we cool back down again late next week.
Well, it's nice to see that for the weekend we'll get a taste of fall for a minute.
It's going to be a pretty nice weekend.
Nice. Third Thursday was in full swing tonight in Joplin with an extra paint strokes for celebration. It started 15 years ago when one popped-up gallery set up on a third Thursday in March of 2008, setting off an inspiration for artists across Joplin. Since then, Third Thursdays have been the home for local artists to showcase their talents. With the fall season officially starting, you probably see more deer out on the road while you're driving. The state of Missouri is actually ranked 14th in the nation for potential crashes involving deer. The Kansas Department of Transportation says that even though deer can be seen on the roadways throughout the entire year, drivers should be cautious, especially in the fall. The Cherokee County Sheriff says seeing only one deer on the side of the road does not mean you're clear.
With, if there's not oncoming traffic, drive with your bright lights on, especially in the dawn and dusk time frames of the day. Scan the road ditches, look for eyes in the ditch, and always assume if you see one deer that there's more deer close by. So just use caution, lower your speeds, and travel safely.
The fall lands near mating season for deer, which makes them more active throughout all times of the day. Still ahead, the Pittsburgh State Gorillas prepare for a top 10 showdown against Northwest Missouri State. And the Liberal Bulldogs hit the field for a Thursday night matchup against Appleton City. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
This week is a big week for the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. The Gorillas host a top 10 matchup this weekend, looking to stay undefeated against Northwest Missouri State. Now the Gorillas, they're ranked 5-0. They are 5-0, ranked 7th in the country. On the other side, Northwest is 4-1, sits at number 9 in the latest AFCA Division II poll. Now these two defenses are really good. They're the only two teams in the MIAA allowing fewer than 15 points per game. They're also the only two in the league to hold their opponents to fewer than 300 yards per week.
We talked about it a couple of times during this week on the defensive side. Is this game may be a 10-9 game. It may be that way. And for me as a defensive guy, I love that. I love seeing a low-scoring game. Because it's a tough, physical, and you have to get every inch. Football's about every inch.
Those guys understand the mindset, the mentality that we need on that side of the ball, and those guys have done a great job of coming through for us, and we'll certainly need them again Saturday.
At the high school level, we have some Thursday night action tonight in Southwest Missouri. It's a battle of the Bulldogs this evening with Liberal hosting Appleton City. Now, these two teams both been really good all season. They enter the night with matching 4-2 records. First quarter, toss goes back to Peyton Morrow. Look at this, plenty of time back there to throw. Eventually, stops and throws over the middle to Luke Bott. He outruns everybody for the touchdown. With the two-point conversion, it's 8-0 Liberal. Sticking around in the first quarter, Morrow gets the pitch, coming to the near side. Lowers the shoulder, takes a little shot, but he is in. Put the home team up double digits. We'll move ahead to the second quarter now. Liberal with the ball again. Toss goes to Morrow. He had a nice night. Through some traffic, down the far side, and in for the touchdown. Liberal wins big over Appleton City, 40-22. Well, the Kansas City Royals wrapped up their season yesterday with a 9-2 loss to the Cleveland Guardians. And just hours after that, the Royals announced they are parting ways with manager Mike Matheny. Matheny joined the Royals prior to the 2020 season. Spent 3 years in Kansas City, 165 wins and 219 losses. They were 65-97 this year, finishing with a losing record for the 6th consecutive season. A local softball here, the Joplin Eagles finish up the regular season tonight on the road against Waynesville. Joplin falls in a good one, 2-1. The Eagles finish the regular season with a 22-10 overall record. They're the 5 seed in the Class 5 District 5 tournament. and will face Neosho in the first round next Tuesday. Amber, one more final note. Former Pittsburgh State All-American Dallas Flowers making his NFL debut tonight, already has a forced fumble and a punt return for 9 yards, so pretty good debut for the former Gorilla.
I know he is having a good night. Yep. Well, that's all for sports. We'll be back with more news right after this. Now we take time to honor a local veteran. Master Sergeant Lewis Larson of Weir, Kansas. Sergeant Larson served in the Army from 1942 to 1945. He won a Bronze Star and Good Conduct Medal and many more while he was serving. Master Sergeant Lewis Larson, we thank you, our 4-state hero. The City of Joplin is now accepting bids for sale and redevelopment of the old downtown public library. The building has sat vacant for several years. It was given to Missouri Southern to turn into office space, but it was transferred back to the city. Now the city is looking for someone to give it a new life.
Well, there's been lots of different uses over the last few years since the library relocated to 20th Street in Connecticut. You know, it's been used as a storage facility. The municipal courts had used it for a time during the pandemic, so we just felt it was time to repurpose it.
February 1st.
Well, we got a cold front heading in for us tonight, so it's really going to cool down across the region. Plus, the winds are going to pick up, so it's going to be windy tonight and breezy throughout the daytime hours tomorrow. 68, high school football in the 50s, which is fantastic. 69 Saturday.
Sounds like football weather. I'm looking forward to it. We got a bunch of good rivalry games tomorrow. Webb City hosting Carthage, Lamar hosting Nevada. Also, good one in Southeast Kansas, Galena hosting Parsons. We'll have all that right here tomorrow night.
You guys will be all over the place.
We will, like every Friday.
Well, thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's make it a great evening.